For years, the Fast and Furious star kept a massive part of his life under wraps, a secret world hidden from the spotlight.
I used to drag here back in high school.
But now that world is finally being revealed.
Time to unleash the beast.
Behind the doors of his private garage lies more than just rare cars. There's a stunning collection of emotional memories, custom-built machines, and deeply personal stories. And one car in particular holds a truth no one saw coming.
You want a car, get it the right way.
How?
Race for it.
Get ready. This isn't just about engines and speed. This is about legacy, and one secret that changes everything. When people think of Vin Diesel, they immediately picture Dominic Toretto, the fearless street racer with a heart of steel. And when they think of Dom, one car always comes to mind, the black 1970 Dodge Charger RT. But this isn't just a car, it's a symbol, a roaring icon of family, strength, and resilience. Throughout the Fast Furious saga, it became the unofficial face of the franchise, surviving death-defying stunts, train chases, and high-speed chaos. In the films, Dom and his father built the Charger by hand, with a legendary Hemi V8 engine pushing 470 horsepower. This beast was born to dominate the road. The 1970 Charger T belonged to the second generation of Dodge Chargers, an era known for bold design and brute force. Some models even came equipped with a 446-pack engine, delivering 375 horsepower and 490 lb of torque. But here's what's truly incredible. Vin Diesel doesn't just act with this car, he owns one. Now, unlike the modified replicas used in the films, Vin purchased his very own custom-built 1970 Dodge Charger RT, spending a jaw-dropping $1 million. This isn't your average muscle car. It's equipped with an 871 positive displacement supercharger, a fast electronic fuel injection system with 3 injectors per cylinder, and 8 nitrous oxide injectors. All that firepower brings it to a monstrous 900 horsepower, with an extra 250 horsepower from nitrous, totaling nearly 1,200 horsepower at 8,500 revolutions per minute. Its chassis, suspension, brakes, and rear axle were all reinforced to handle this raw energy. For Vin, this car isn't just a machine, it's a memory, a living tribute to the origins of Fast Furious and that unforgettable moment where Dom and Brian's fates collided in speed and loyalty. But that wasn't the only classic Vin connected with. After the adrenaline-fueled events of the first film, we see Dom riding off into the sunset in a red 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. This wasn't just another muscle car, it became a reflection of his rebellious spirit. The Chevelle returned in later films, sometimes in sleek gray, always ready for battle. The 1970 Chevelle SS was a powerhouse with 4 engine options, the strongest being the 454 LS6, which delivered a jaw-dropping 450 horsepower. At the time, it was one of the fastest muscle cars ever built and boasted the highest advertised horsepower of the era. Vin Diesel once called the Chevelle his first fast car, cementing its emotional importance. Even today, this car makes appearances in teasers and behind-the-scenes footage from upcoming sequels. For collectors, owning an original Sport Coupe LS6 454 model today means paying upwards of $99,000. The filmmakers used 2 authentic Chevelle SS coupes for the movie. Unlike other cars modified for stunt work, these originals were preserved, untouched by extreme alterations. Among Vin's most prized possessions, though, is a true gem, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Designed not just for beauty, but for pure speed, this machine is a spectacle. Its sleek, aerodynamic nose and towering 23-inch rear wing weren't just dramatic, they were built to dominate NASCAR. And the Daytona made a short but unforgettable appearance in Fast Furious 6. But Vin's personal model? That's no replica, it's the real deal. Only 503 Daytona Chargers were ever made, making it an incredibly rare collector's item. Of those, just 70 were fitted with the ultra-powerful 426 Hemi engine, cranking out 425 horsepower. Its iconic wing and extended nose weren't just visual flair. They helped the Daytona conquer the racetrack, winning 6 major NASCAR events before being banned for outperforming the competition so dramatically. That ban ended its racing career, but it also secured the Daytona's status as one of the most legendary and sought-after muscle cars in history. Today, a pristine 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona can fetch over $1.3 million at auction. In some rare cases, that number has skyrocketed to an incredible $3.3 million. And tucked away in Vin Diesel's private garage is one of these ultra-rare machines. His Daytona isn't just a car, it's a crown jewel. Owning a real, authentic 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, a car so fast it was literally banned from NASCAR, doesn't just make Vin Diesel a gearhead. It places him among the elite collectors of automotive history. While Vin's heart undeniably belongs to classic American muscle, his love for speed has evolved over the years. His collection isn't just rooted in nostalgia, it's turbocharged with modern engineering marvels that push the limits of power and luxury. Take the Lykan Hypersport, for example, an exotic supercar from Lebanon that turned heads around the world when it appeared leaping between skyscrapers in Furious 7. Valued at a jaw-dropping $3.4 million, the Lykan Hypersport is a rolling piece of art and speed. What makes it truly outrageous isn't just its performance, it's the details. The headlights, lined with 420 real diamonds. Inside, a holographic infotainment system adds futuristic flair. Under the hood, it boasts a 3.7-liter twin-turbo flat-six engine designed by Raum, churning out 780 horsepower and 708 lb-ft of torque. It can rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds and top out at a blistering 245 miles per hour. To put that into perspective, at full speed, it covers more than a football field's length in just 1 second. And here's the kicker. Only 7 Lykan Hypersports exist in the entire world. And yes, Vin Diesel owns one. This car perfectly reflects the transformation of the Fast Furious franchise, from underground street races to international spectacle, and Vin's personal journey from classic car lover to global action icon. But his collection doesn't stop there. Another legendary machine in his garage is the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport, an American classic featured in Fast 5 during the film's unforgettable train heist scene. Lightweight, agile, and explosively powerful, this Corvette wasn't just a movie star, it was a real racing legend. In real life, Vin Diesel holds deep respect for this incredibly rare machine. Its split-window design is instantly recognizable, and its track-ready pedigree makes it a holy grail among car collectors. Only 5 Grand Sport Corvettes were ever built, making it one of the rarest American sports cars in history. Under the hood, the most extreme version of the V8 engine featured a 377 cubic inch all-aluminum block paired with 4 Weber side draft carburetors, delivering an earth-shaking 550 horsepower at 6,400 revolutions per minute. Another variation produced 485 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, still an incredible figure for the 1960s. In Fast 5, Dom famously stole one from a moving train, but in real life, Vin Diesel bought one, turning that cinematic moment into a personal one. Today, an original Corvette Grand Sport is valued at over $7 million, making it the most valuable antique in his entire collection. Vin's decision to purchase this car right after it lit up the screen shows just how deeply his film experiences influence his real-life passions. For him, these aren't just vehicles. They're part of the story, both on-screen and off. Now, what about motorcycles? While Vin Diesel is best known for his love of fast cars, both on and off the screen, his personal garage tells a clear story. He's all about 4 wheels. His real-life collection is dominated by high-performance cars, especially classic American muscle. That's not to say he's never been associated with bikes. In the sci-fi action film Babylon AD, Diesel was seen riding a custom Lazarus motorcycle, a futuristic machine equipped with a computer-controlled, supercharged V-twin engine and eye-catching single-sided forks and swing arms. These bikes were built for style and power, matching the film's dystopian aesthetic. There was also some buzz on the internet, particularly a Reddit post about a Van Moof-styled road bike with a Vin Diesel sticker on the frame. But this turned out to be nothing more than a fan creation, not something Diesel actually owned or endorsed. In the Fast Furious series, motorcycles rarely take center stage. One of the few notable appearances was a 1996 Honda CR, briefly used as a getaway vehicle in the first film. But overall, two-wheeled rides have never been a major focus of the franchise, or of Vin's personal interests. And that's where the difference becomes clear. While Dom Toretto, the character, may hop onto any vehicle that gets the job done, Vin Diesel, the man, is driven by his passion for cars, especially those born in Detroit and built for speed. So yes, he might ride bikes in movies, but when it comes to what he treasures most, the vehicles he collects, customizes, and keeps, it's always been about the cars. Beyond the roar of engines and the gleam of chrome, Vin Diesel's life tells a story far greater than fast cars. He's not just a muscle car fanatic, he's a globally successful actor, producer, and businessman with a journey that reads like a Hollywood script. But long before the fame, before Fast Furious, before the blockbuster hits, there was a little boy in New York with a lot of energy and a curious streak. Vin Diesel's acting story began at just 7 years old in the most unexpected way. One day, he and his twin brother, Paul, along with a group of friends, broke into the theater for the new city. Not to perform, but to cause some mischief. They didn't get far. Instead of calling the police, the theater's artistic director made them an offer that would change Vin's life forever. Come back tomorrow and read a script. She invited them to join the theater's children's program as an alternative to getting in trouble. Vin took the script, returned the next day, and from that point on, he never stopped acting. But his road to Hollywood wasn't paved with red carpets. Breaking into the film industry was anything but easy. Diesel often spoke about being rejected due to his unique look and mixed-race heritage, which casting directors didn't quite know how to categorize. Frustrated but not defeated, he took control of his own narrative. He wrote, directed, and starred in a short film called Multifacial, based on his real-life audition struggles. It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival and caught the eye of Steven Spielberg, who was so impressed that he created a role for Vin in Saving Private Ryan. That was the spark that launched everything. From there, Vin Diesel built an empire, both in front of the camera and behind it. He founded One Race Films, produced many of his own blockbusters, and became one of the most bankable stars of his generation. Still, despite the fame, his heart has always remained grounded in his passions for family, storytelling, and of course, cars. When Vin Diesel turned 23, armed with a writing degree and big dreams, he moved to Los Angeles, the city of stars, hoping to carve out a place for himself. But the reality was harsher than he expected. For an entire year, he couldn't land a single acting role. Agents wouldn't sign him. Casting directors told him he was too different, too ambiguous, too hard to place. His mixed-race heritage, instead of opening doors, kept him in a strange in-between that Hollywood didn't know what to do with. But where others might have given up, Vin Diesel got creative. In 1995, he decided to stop knocking on locked doors and build one himself. He poured all his savings and borrowed funds into making a short film called Multifacial. Written, directed, produced, and starring Vin himself, it was a deeply personal story about a biracial actor navigating rejection in the industry. Shot in just 3 days on a shoestring budget, it struck a powerful chord. The film made it all the way to the 1995 Cannes Film Festival, catching the attention of none other than Steven Spielberg. Moved by Vin's performance and vision, Spielberg offered him a role in his Oscar-winning war epic, Saving Private Ryan. That moment was the turning point. From a struggling outsider to sharing the screen in one of the biggest films of the decade, Vin Diesel had arrived. But his journey didn't stop there. Before Saving Private Ryan, he had a blink and you'll miss it role in the 1990 film Awakenings. But after Spielberg's nod, doors began to open. He lent his deep, gravelly voice to the Iron Giant in 1999, a now beloved animated sci-fi classic. Then came 2000's Pitch Black, where Diesel introduced the world to Riddick, a dark anti-hero that would become one of his most iconic roles. But it was 2001's The Fast and the Furious that would truly change his life. As Dominic Toretto, he became the face of a franchise that would define a generation and turn him into a global action star. From there, Diesel sped through hits like Kiss Kicks in 2002, returned as Riddick in The Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, and even showed his lighter side in the family comedy The Pacifier in 2005, a surprise box office hit. In 2006, he took a bold step into drama with Find Me Guilty, earning praise for his performance, even if the film underperformed financially. Vin Diesel didn't just act, he created. In 2009, he directed Los Bandoleros, a short prequel to the Fast franchise that gave fans a deeper look at Dom's story. Behind the scenes, he founded One Race Films, his own production company, giving him creative control and a platform to champion diversity in storytelling. He once said, "I had to create my own destiny. If I waited for Hollywood, I'd still be waiting." And he meant it. Today, Vin Diesel is far more than just a Hollywood action hero. He's a multi-million-dollar brand. As of 2025, his estimated net worth sits somewhere between $225 million and $250 million, making him one of the wealthiest action stars in the world. Most of this fortune comes not just from acting, but from producing, directing, and smart business decisions. His biggest cash machine? The Fast and the Furious franchise. For each movie, he reportedly earns $20 to $25 million. But for Furious 7, his earnings skyrocketed to an astonishing $47 million, thanks in part to back-end profits through his own production company, One Race Films. Beyond Fast Furious, Diesel also rakes in revenue from blockbuster hits like Cuscax in the Riddick series. And let's not forget his beloved voice role as Groot in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, a part that brought his gravelly voice into one of the most successful film franchises in history. It's no surprise that he's frequently listed on Forbes as one of the highest-paid actors on the planet. Yet, despite his fame and fortune, Vin Diesel has remained fiercely private. In an interview with Details magazine, he once said that he follows a personal code of silence, much like Harrison Ford, Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino, meaning you won't catch him splashed across tabloids or reality shows. That same privacy extends to his family and his homes. What we do know is that he owns some truly stunning properties. One of his favorite escapes? A gorgeous vacation villa in the Dominican Republic, a country he's repeatedly said he feels deeply connected to. He also has a luxury apartment in Manhattan, close to where his roots run deep. Internet sleuths have pointed to a $5.2 million estate in Beverly Hills, reportedly with 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and nearly 6,000 square feet of space. But what surprises many is a modest home he's owned in Los Angeles for over 16 years. Located on a massive 200 square foot lot in the quiet, tree-lined Beverly Crest neighborhood, this house was built in 1957 and appears untouched since. With only 1,500 square feet, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bathrooms, it's incredibly understated for someone with Vin Diesel's wealth. In his personal life, Vin Diesel has been in a long-term relationship with Mexican model Paloma Jimenez since 2007. Together they have 3 children, 2 daughters born in 2008 and 2015, and a son born in 2010. In a touching tribute, the couple named their youngest daughter Pauline, honoring Vin's close friend and Fast Furious co-star Paul Walker, who tragically passed away in a car crash in 2013. But even legends face storms. On June 3, 2025, Vin Diesel made headlines for a very different reason. A California judge dismissed 4 claims in a sexual battery lawsuit filed against him, citing that the accuser, Aster Jonathan, missed the legal deadline to file under state law. Diesel's attorney, Brian Friedman, called the allegations frivolous and vowed to prove the remaining claims false. Still, 6 other claims remain, including sexual battery, wrongful termination, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Jonathan, who filed the lawsuit in December 2023, alleges the incident occurred in 2010 during the filming of Fast 5 in an Atlanta hotel. She claims Diesel assaulted her, groped her, and fired her the next day. Diesel has strongly denied all allegations. Jonathan's lawyer expressed disappointment at the dismissals, but confirmed their intent to continue fighting in court. Diesel's legal team has said they may not only push to have the remaining charges dismissed, but could also pursue a countersuit for malicious prosecution. A jury trial for the unresolved claims is currently set for August. Despite these legal battles, Diesel remains deeply immersed in his work. He's currently filming Fast X Part 2, the next explosive installment in the saga. On social media, he's teased fans with glimpses of Dominic Toretto's garage, the iconic 1970 Dodge Charger RT gleaming outside, waiting to roar back to life. He's promoted the sequel with the words, heart, family, legacy. He's even hinted at the return of Paul Walker's legendary Supra, and behind-the-scenes footage shows Diesel back behind the wheel, performing real driving stunts. Through it all, the fame, the fortune, the controversy, Vin Diesel's garage remains a reflection of who he truly is. Not just a superstar, not just a car lover, but a man who built his life, his legacy, and his empire, one gear shift at a time.